Hello, Aquarius risings. This is your full moon forecast for Leo, which is your seventh house of relationships. I'm Mandy Ray of Ecstatic Astrology. Thanks for coming and checking this out today. Uh, of course, Aquarius is the 11th sign I do, so I might trip over my words a little, but that's okay. I am very comfortable with the material now. So, this full moon is highlighting your seventh house of relationships, and it's about joy with regards to relationships and your inner child. And if you feel good, if you feel loved, if you feel paid attention to, it's about creating with people. So it is something that can have a little bit of a pull on it by Uranus in your fourth house of home and family. So Uranus is change, it's freedom. And the fourth house is emotional security, right? So maybe you've had to shift some things around because you were not feeling very secure. Maybe your values there were very important. I just wanted to spend more time at home, something like that. And then this full moon comes around and your friend's like, hey, I thought we had plans. That's a good example of this full moon square Uranus. But this one is more reminding you that you can go hang out with your friend. Like you don't have to stay home. And why do I say that? It's because August of 2017, we had a solar eclipse in Leo, new relationships for you, perhaps, new ways of relating to others, new ways of being seen. And it was a really great, like ping pong, we're going to go for it. But then June through September of 2023, Venus went retrograde in your seventh house of relationships, kind of like breaking all that down, had you reevaluating the people that you thought were, your emotional connections that kept you emotionally secure. So that has been shifting for you. Relationships, home and family, it's all just maybe been a little chaotic. This full moon almost shows you that you're in the place you need to be. And I think it's a reminder. It harkens back to August of 2017. What were you excited about back then? It's a reminder, it's a return. I say that partly because Mars is retrograde in Cancer, and Mars retrograde is a redo. That is your sixth house of daily life, routine, health. And you're like, okay, I need to feel good in my body. I need to feel good in my routine. And I also need to feel good with the people I'm around. So those things are resonant as well. But there's some work, and that's Saturn in your second house of finances and values. So Mars in your sixth house of work, trine, supporting Saturn, which is work, and your second house of money has you, okay, I can still have the relationships, but I can also work. I can also make it work for me. I can support myself. Feels like a very epiphany type moment where you realize you don't need other people, because that was really what was messing up your joy before. Is maybe you're in a relationship and they were the breadwinner, and it made you feel uncomfortable and less creative. And that's just an example, but this has to do with you getting out there and doing it yourself, and also being able to maintain the relationships that pay you back, that are close to your heart. So the other things going on, Jupiter's in Gemini in your fifth house of joy and fun and inner child creativity. So there's a lot of this creativity going around right now. And I think it's really awesome. But it's in a very mental sign, Gemini. And Valentine's Day, February 14th, Mercury moves into Pisces. That's your second house of money. And they're going to be in each other's signs. So Jupiter's good luck in your fifth house in Mercury's home. Joy, fun, creativity, expansion of that. But Mercury moves into your second house of money, and Jupiter's home. It's like, hey, you're not paying attention. What about the money? What about the money? There's a way to do both. And I think that's what the Mercury transit through Pisces is going to show, because it will eventually go retrograde as well. And those two are going to be working off of each other. So the last thing I want to say is that Venus is going to go retrograde in your third house of community, communication, short travel. Venus is value. So it's a reevaluation of how you communicate to people, how you gather in community, and it will eventually go back into your second house of money. So this should be on your radar, and that's going to be later on down the road. And I will spend more time on this in a separate video. But the Venus retrograde for you is going to have you rethinking how to go about the money and the daily life stuff. But don't forget, have fun with your friends. It's a ripe time to do it. Just make sure you're very clear in what you say and how you say it. All right, Aquarius risings. I will catch you on the flip side. I just came back for a quick update since I haven't been doing this very much lately. So thanks for joining me. You can find me at ecstaticastrology.com. And I will be back February 27th for the new moon in Pisces, probably more put together. Thank you very much. Catch you on the flip side.